Listen, I love Lisa, I really do, but Jennie kind of ate her up. I was listening, Jennie ate her up.
I just saw a TikTok that said that Jennie's album is what Alter Ego should have been.
I listened to Ruby, which is Jennie's new solo album, and I was pleasantly surprised. I really like Ruby.
I might have to die on this hill here alone, but Rosé's new album is my favorite of the BLACKPINK solos.
Why Jennie and Rose's album were successful, and Lisa's hasn't been. All four BLACKPINK members have now released their own projects, and in just a year, they've put out more music than they did under YG. It's been incredible to watch each of them thrive, stepping into their individual careers and showcasing their unique artistry. As a longtime Blink, it's both fascinating and rewarding to see how they've grown, not just as a group, but as distinct artists carving out their own paths. Since launching their solo careers, we've gotten to know them on a much deeper level, especially with three of them seemingly focused on breaking into the Western market. This feels like the foundation of something bigger, a shift toward establishing their own artistic identities, bringing their individual colors to the forefront, and redefining their music beyond BLACKPINK. However, there's a noticeable difference in the levels of success between Rosé's Rosé and Jennie's Ruby, compared to Lisa's alter ego. Jisoo's project isn't part of this discussion, as she hasn't released a full-length album, and her EP wasn't necessarily geared toward Western audiences. This video will focus on the branding strategies behind each member's solo era, how they've positioned themselves, the ways they've promoted their music, and how well their approaches align with the Western market. Rosé. Among the BLACKPINK members, Rosé has always been the most deeply connected to music, a passion that was evident long before they ventured into solo projects. Within the fandom, she is recognized as the member most immersed in her craft, and this dedication seamlessly translates into her career. Even before her solo debut, she had a clear artistic vision, which shines through in the thoughtful curation of her album. It feels like Rosé's solo work builds on the musical identity she was already known for: her signature acoustic performances, her love for the guitar, and the softer, more introspective sound that set her apart within BLACKPINK. Rather than completely reinventing herself, she expands on these familiar elements, making them feel fresh and edgier. What stands out is how she strategically blends pieces of her BLACKPINK era with a new, distinct identity as a solo artist. Hair theory. A well-known strategy many Western artists use to build their personal brand is the hair theory, having a signature, instantly recognizable hairstyle that becomes part of their identity. Think Sabrina Carpenter with her bangs and voluminous curls, Beyoncé and her iconic golden blonde hair, Sia's short signature bangs, Billie Eilish's neon green roots at the start of her career, or Chappelle Roan's rebellious red curls. These hairstyles are so closely tied to their public personas that they become part of their overall branding. In the K-pop world, Rosé is similarly known for her blonde hair. It's a defining feature that not only suits her, but has also been embraced by audiences as part of her signature look. However, for her solo era, instead of sticking to the long, wavy blonde locks most associated with her BLACKPINK image, she subtly evolved her brand. She opted for a curlier, more tousled style, paired with casual, edgier outfits, creating a look that feels noticeably less glamorous than her BLACKPINK days. This shift wasn't just aesthetic, it also played a key role in reshaping her brand. She maintained a familiar part of her identity while signaling a new chapter, one that felt more approachable. Beyond just visuals, Rosé also leaned into relatability in her solo era. She was more open in interviews, discussing topics like love, her trainee days, and personal experiences, things that K-pop idols typically shy away from. By doing this, she positioned herself as more than just an idol. She became a person fans could connect with on a deeper level. This was a strategic move, aligning her branding with the Western market, where personal storytelling and authenticity play a huge role in an artist's success. It's clear that Rosé is positioning herself within the same musical space as artists like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, and Gracie Abrams. women known for making deeply relatable and approachable music. To complement this shift, her styling choices have evolved to reflect a more down-to-earth, personal aesthetic. By softening her signature look, opting for looser, livelier, and more casual hairstyles, she presents a version of herself that feels more accessible compared to the polished, high-fashion image she embodied as a BLACKPINK member. This subtle transformation subconsciously signals that she's in a new era, one that's distinct from her time in the group. One of the standout hairstyle changes in this era includes braids and space buns, which further add to this approachable image. The same applies to her fashion choices. We're seeing her in jeans, t-shirts, jerseys, crop tops, and tank tops, a stark contrast to the high-glam, structured outfits typically associated with BLACKPINK. She's also stepping into spaces that make her feel more like a regular person, rather than an idol, appearing on podcasts, talking openly about her life, and embracing a girl-next-door energy. That being said, her style isn't just casual. It's also more androgynous in certain ways. The addition of masculine silhouettes and looser cuts adds depth to her visual identity, making it more than just simple or understated. While Rosé has always had a level of approachability, being the pink in BLACKPINK, this era feels like she's taken it a step further. Before, her brand leaned toward minimalistic, elegant, and serious, which made sense given that she's an ambassador for Tiffany & Company and YSL. But now, we're seeing a more relaxed, effortless version of her. And honestly, it's a brilliant move. The power of color in Rosé's solo branding. One of the most fascinating aspects of Rosé's solo branding is her color choices, a crucial yet often overlooked element in an artist's visual identity. When artists go solo, they typically make a clear effort to distinguish themselves from their group's image. However, Rosé took a different approach. Instead of moving away from BLACKPINK's aesthetic, she embraced one of its core elements, pink, and made it a central part of her solo identity. Pink is consistently present throughout her branding as a solo artist. It's the background color for viral visuals, it's used in her album covers, and it subtly reinforces her connection to BLACKPINK while reshaping it into something uniquely hers. This is a brilliant branding move. By maintaining pink in her solo era, she acknowledges where she came from while simultaneously giving the color a new life, pairing it with red to mark her evolution as an individual artist. The significance of red. The addition of red is particularly striking. Red is bold, powerful, and signifies a shift beyond the softness and femininity traditionally associated with pink. It represents passion, strength, and independence, aligning with Rosé's growth as a soloist. What makes this color choice even more intriguing is its potential symbolism within the BLACKPINK identity itself. Pink and red are inherently connected. Red is an intensified, deeper evolution of pink, representing a bolder, more mature, and more passionate expression of the same essence. While pink is often associated with softness, youth, and playfulness, red carries connotations of strength, confidence, and intensity. By incorporating red into her solo branding, Rosé isn't just referencing her past in BLACKPINK. She's pushing beyond it, signaling growth, independence, and a heightened sense of self as an artist. Whether intentional or not, this shift subtly suggests an evolution rather than a departure, reinforcing that her solo journey is not about leaving BLACKPINK behind, but about taking its foundation and elevating it into something entirely her own. Rosé's choice of red isn't just any red, it's soft, rosy, and elegant, rather than an overly bright or harsh shade. This likely serves as a nod to her own name, Rosé, while also reinforcing her signature aesthetic. The shade of red she uses feels romantic, refined, and artistic, much like rosé wine, which adds another layer of meaning to her branding. It's a perfect balance, bridging her past with her future, maintaining familiarity while signaling transformation. An evolution, not a departure. What makes Rosé's branding so compelling is that she doesn't abandon her BLACKPINK roots. She builds upon them. The contrast of pink and red symbolizes both continuity and change. She isn't leaving behind her legacy. She's evolving it into something more nuanced, independent, yet still connected. By doing this, Rosé is making a subtle but powerful statement. She's no longer just a part of BLACKPINK. She's an artist in her own right, bringing the essence of her past into a new, self-defined era. Rosé's branding strategy is brilliantly executed and deeply effective because it leans into what she's already known for while evolving into something fresh and bold. She maintains the softness and girl next door charm that defined her in BLACKPINK, but expands it into a new era of openness, confidence, and artistic expression. Her signature stripped-down acoustic performances remain central to her identity, but now she elevates them, incorporating a full band and richer production, adding depth and maturity to her sound. Likewise, her blonde hair, a defining visual element, remains, but with a looser, edgier styling that reflects her evolution. The pinnacle of Rosé's branding evolution is her viral hit, APT, a song that seamlessly blends Western and Korean influences. The track cleverly plays on the Korean word for apartment while referencing a famous Korean drinking game, subtly acknowledging her roots while infusing global appeal. Featuring Bruno Mars was a strategic move. He is a widely recognized Western artist, known for playful yet sophisticated music, aligning perfectly with Rosé's new artistic direction. Another key branding shift is her approach to performance. Unlike many K-pop idols, she has stepped away from intricate choreography, opting for a more fluid, natural movement style that prioritizes the music itself. This decision allows her to fully focus on her vocal performance and avoid criticisms about dancing, playing to her biggest strength, her voice. Ultimately, Rosé's solo brand isn't a reinvention. It's an extension of who she has always been. She successfully breaks out of the K-pop mold while keeping elements of it intact, allowing her to expand into new musical spaces without alienating her existing fan base. This balance of familiarity and innovation is what makes her branding feel so authentic and effective. She's not just evolving, she's thriving. Jennie's branding strategy, the Ruby effect. Jennie's solo branding has been widely praised, and much of its success can be attributed to her strong identity as an artist. While she employs some similar branding strategies as Rosé, hers is more subtly executed, revealing itself through thoughtful details that reinforce her image. One of the most fascinating aspects of Jennie's branding is her association with the color red. Throughout her time in BLACKPINK, red became synonymous with her, despite her openly stating that it's not her favorite color. Yet, stylists and fans alike have recognized how perfectly it suits her, leading to its frequent use in her visuals. Red, a bold, passionate, and commanding color, aligns with Jennie's personality, stage presence, and artistic identity. She has always existed outside the rigid expectations of K-pop idols, embracing her individuality in everything from her dating life to her performance style. So, when Jennie debuted as a solo artist, it made perfect sense that her album was titled Ruby. While Ruby is a reference to her middle name, Jennie Ruby Jane, she has explained that the title was also inspired by the red stage curtains that open before a performance, a metaphor for revealing her true self as an artist. This theme is woven seamlessly into her album's rollout, with curtains serving as a motif across promotional materials, music videos, and visuals. By incorporating red into her solo branding, she isn't just playing into what she's known for, she's making it intentional and symbolic. Red as a branding tool. Jennie's branding strategy is particularly effective because it builds on an idea that was already strongly associated with her. In K-pop, having a signature color can be a powerful marketing tool. Olivia Rodrigo has purple, Charli XCX has neon green, and Jennie has red. What makes her use of red so compelling is that it feels like a natural extension of her BLACKPINK identity, rather than a stark departure. If pink represents softness, femininity, and charm, then red is its bolder, more intense evolution, symbolizing power, passion, and unapologetic confidence. This mirrors Jennie's own persona as she effortlessly balances elegance with edge, sweetness with strength. By embracing red in her solo branding, Jennie isn't just highlighting a signature color. She's elevating what she's always been known for, reinforcing her ability to move fluidly between high-fashion sophistication and raw, charismatic energy. Beyond just the visual impact, Jennie's understanding of Western audiences has also played a crucial role in her branding. Likely influenced by her upbringing in New Zealand, her album promotion felt carefully tailored for a Western market, blending a mix of casual, funny interviews, like the chicken shop date with Amelia de Moldenberg, with more serious, introspective conversations. This adaptability allows her to connect with a broader audience while maintaining her distinct identity. The smart use of blue in vulnerable moments. Although red dominates her branding, Jennie makes a brilliant creative choice when it comes to her more emotional songs, incorporating blue instead. While she has admitted that she doesn't actually like red, blue is her favorite color, and it becomes the central aesthetic for her most vulnerable tracks, like Love Hangover and Handlebars. Both music videos feature blue-toned visuals, which subtly signal a shift in mood and meaning. Thematically, these songs explore heartbreak, love, and emotional intensity, with lyrics referencing being drunk in love and longing for someone to call back. Interestingly, blue also holds personal significance for Jennie. Her mother has a tradition of giving her blue roses on her birthday and major achievements. By using blue for these emotionally charged songs, Jennie infuses her personal history into her art, making her branding feel deeply authentic and personal rather than just a manufactured image. The theatrical motif of curtains opening suggests that this chapter of her career isn't just about reinvention. It's about embracing the full spectrum of who she is. A masterclass in balancing familiarity and growth. Jennie's branding strategy works so well because it doesn't feel like a complete reinvention. Instead, it's a refinement and expansion of what she's always been known for. She plays into her established image while adding new layers of depth and meaning, making her solo identity feel distinct yet familiar. By using red as a foundation, she acknowledges the image she has already built while elevating it with new creative choices, like the curtain motif, the strategic use of blue for vulnerability, and her uniquely curated promotional approach. She successfully steps beyond the K-pop bubble, blending the best elements of idol branding with the authenticity and storytelling expected in Western pop. Ultimately, the Ruby effect perfectly encapsulates who Jennie is as an artist: bold, enigmatic, and effortlessly cool, while showcasing her ability to evolve without losing sight of what makes her so captivating in the first place. Jennie's branding strategy for her solo era is a masterclass in curation, evolution, and mystique. Like Rosé, she subtly employs hair theory, frequently wearing bangs in her music videos and album visuals. While she doesn't fully commit to the look in all her promotions, the intentional repetition of certain styles helps reinforce her identity in this era. Another brilliant branding choice is her embrace of capybaras, an animal she has long adored, even before their viral moment. Instead of using red as her color logo on TikTok, she chose a capybara, turning a personal quirk into a recognizable fandom symbol. This move taps into Western pop culture strategies, where having distinctive personal lore strengthens an artist's relatability and brand recognition. Jennie's artistic approach in this era is a mix of self-exploration and strategic restraint. She balances revealing personal insights, like her struggles with public scrutiny, in lyrics such as, "When I do it, it's a problem," while keeping much of her personal life shrouded in mystery, a contrast to Rosé's openness. In interviews, she alludes to themes of love and past relationships, but never fully discloses details, keeping audiences intrigued and engaged. Where Rosé is known for her musical authenticity, Jennie shines as a curator and creative director. Even in BLACKPINK, she played a key role in shaping her fashion and stage aesthetics. Her solo era cements this talent, She brings together top-tier creatives like director Choi Ji-seok, visual director for Zen and Grammy songwriter Amy Allen, who has worked with Sabrina Carpenter, to craft an era that feels polished, cohesive, and visually striking, despite experimenting with multiple genres. Ultimately, Jennie's branding strategy is about evolution, not reinvention. She takes elements she's always been known for, her cool, effortless persona, high-fashion aesthetics, and enigmatic appeal, and refines them with thoughtful storytelling and artistic direction. More than just a musician, Jennie thrives as a creative force, seamlessly blending music, fashion, and visual artistry into a cohesive and compelling brand. Lisa's branding strategy, the unfinished persona. Lisa's solo album, Alter Ego, has sparked mixed reactions, with some praising her ambition, while others criticize its lack of cohesion. A significant factor in this reception is how disjointed her branding feels. There isn't a clear, identifiable through line that ties her visuals, music, and promotional strategy together. Compared to Rosé and Jennie, Lisa's branding struggles with a sense of direction, making it harder for audiences to fully connect with her artistic vision. One key difference is that, unlike the other two, Lisa has never lived in a Western country, which may contribute to a weaker grasp of Western branding strategies. The transition from K-pop idol to Western solo artist requires an understanding of narrative building, visual consistency, and audience engagement, and it seems Lisa is still navigating this space. That being said, her work ethic is undeniable. While creating this album, she was simultaneously filming The White Lotus, performing at Victoria's Secret, and engaging in multiple high-profile projects. This is not someone who lacks passion or effort, but rather someone who may not have had the right branding direction to bring all of her ideas together into a singular, compelling image. This isn't an issue of talent or potential, but rather a branding misstep. Lisa's sonic identity is still forming, and while this era may not resonate with everyone right now, it has the potential to mature into something stronger. Her biggest challenge isn't reinvention, but execution. Finding a way to merge her strengths as a performer with a clear, defined identity that feels uniquely hers. Lisa deserves her flowers. She worked hard on this album, and that dedication is evident. While the branding may not be as seamless or refined as expected, this is just one chapter in her evolution. If there's anything Lisa has proven over the years, it's that she's resilient, hardworking, and capable of bouncing back stronger. This moment is a learning curve, not a failure. And when she returns with a more refined vision, she will undoubtedly leave an even greater impact. The Fragmented Vision. Many people claim that Lisa lacks a brand identity, but that's not entirely true. She does have a clear artistic vision, but it suffers from poor execution and a lack of cohesion. Her alter ego concept is an ambitious and creative idea, one that plays into her well-established duality, balancing masculine and feminine aesthetics, strength and softness, boldness and vulnerability. However, the branding missteps made it difficult for audiences to fully grasp her concept. One of the biggest pitfalls was the overcomplication of her alter egos. Introducing 5 distinct personas, Roxy, Kiki, Vixie, Sunny, and Speedy, was overwhelming in an era where audiences have short attention spans. Instead of creating a memorable, streamlined concept, the abundance of alter egos diluted their impact. A more effective approach would have been focusing on 3 core alter egos, each tied to a specific color palette, aesthetic, and emotional state, making them easier to follow and visually cohesive. The color dilemma: too many shades, not enough unity. Another major issue with Lisa's branding was the lack of a consistent color identity. Throughout her promotions, we saw silver and black, red and black, yellow, pink, purple, and green, all striking colors. But together, they felt random rather than intentional. A strong branding strategy uses color theory to create a sense of continuity. Rosé and Jennie executed this well, making their branding instantly recognizable. For example, Sabrina Carpenter is associated with baby blue, baby yellow, and soft pink, but they all belong to the same pastel spectrum, making them feel connected. In contrast, Lisa's color choices felt scattered, making her alter egos seem disconnected rather than pieces of a larger, evolving persona. A more effective strategy would have been choosing 3 dominant colors, perhaps silver for her rock star persona, yellow for her playful, sunny side, and red for her fiery, aggressive alter ego, and ensuring that all promotional materials, visuals, and music videos tied back to those shades. This would have visually united her alter egos while preserving their individual personalities. The issue of tell, don't show. Always show, don't tell. Another branding misstep was Lisa's approach to explaining her alter egos. Instead of letting the music, visuals, and performances naturally communicate their essence, she released lengthy, overly descriptive explanations that felt cringeworthy to many listeners. This exposed a cultural gap. While in K-pop, elaborate lore-building can work, in Western pop, subtlety and visual storytelling tend to be more effective. Rather than releasing written descriptions, a cinematic visual trailer or a short film introducing each alter ego through action, aesthetic, and personality cues would have been far more compelling. While the comic books she released were a great idea, they only catered to hardcore fans, whereas a more accessible visual introduction would have helped sell the concept to a wider audience. Nonetheless, Lisa's upcoming Coachella performance has the potential to be a career-defining moment, a chance to bring all the elements of her alter ego concept into one cohesive and unforgettable experience. For many artists, Coachella has served as the ultimate stage for reinvention. Sabrina Carpenter's short and sweet era gained momentum after her performance, and Beyoncé's halftime show for Cowboy Carter, transforming the way audiences understood it. Lisa can use this stage in the same way, not just to perform, but to clarify and amplify her artistic vision. As a natural performer, Lisa has the presence, energy, and stage command to make this an era-defining moment. If executed well, Coachella could be the moment where her alter ego concept finally clicks for audiences, tying together the music, visuals, and storytelling in a way that feels immersive and intentional. The key would be in structuring the performance to highlight the 5 personas through distinct styling, staging, and transitions. This would allow her to show rather than tell, eliminating any confusion about the branding of her album while reinforcing her identity as a multidimensional solo artist. Despite the mixed reception to alter ego, it is lazy criticism to simply dismiss the album without meaningful discussion about how it could be improved. Too many critiques focus on personal dislike rather than constructive analysis. There's a lack of engagement with the musicality, branding, and performance choices that could have strengthened the project. The real conversation should be about how Lisa can refine her artistic direction rather than reducing her efforts to a failure. Regardless of the challenges, Lisa is undeniably hardworking, passionate, and resilient. Those qualities alone set her apart as an artist, with the potential to continue growing and evolving. Her solo journey is still in its early stages, and Coachella offers a perfect opportunity for her to push forward, reshape perceptions, and prove why she belongs on the global stage. Seeing the BLACKPINK members branch out into their own individual styles has been an incredible moment for fans. And while the transition comes with hurdles, it's ultimately a transformative era for all of them. Lisa's journey isn't over, it's just beginning.